Well, hello again to all the boys and girls out there in YouTube land watching. Georgia Beer Reviews back at you today with another one. What I'm looking at is a beer from Treehouse Brewing Company. This is the All I Want for Christmas is Juice. All I Want for Christmas is Juice. It is an American Double IPA clocking in at 8.1% alcohol by volume. It was canned on the 11th, so oh, today is the 12th. This was canned yesterday. Super fresh. So I picked it up today. So it was canned one day ago. I mean, I shouldn't be surprised at this point. It still continues to amaze me though how fresh some of the Treehouse beers I get are. I mean, I've gotten cans that were canned on the day that I purchased them. Um, so all I Want for Christmas is Juice. There's no information on this particular can, but if you go to the website, they give you plenty of information about this beer. Like I said, it's 8.1% alcohol, American Double IPA. It's brewed with a fruit-forward blend of American hops, along with authentic Japanese sobacha tea, paired with vanilla chamomile tea. So it's got tea in it, two different types of tea. It says sobacha tea is made from roasted buckwheat grown in Hokkaido, Japan, without pesticides or chemicals. Then it gives you a little bit of flavor notes, which we don't need that because we're going to figure that out for ourselves. But that sounds absolutely delightful. Treehouse is always doing some exciting things with their beer. Okay, let's pour this up and see what we're dealing with here. Nice aggressive pour. And you've got a beautiful orange appearance. Very vibrant orange. Looks darker on camera than it is to the naked eye here in real life. Three finger, slightly off-white, creamy looking head. Beautiful looking IPA in the glass, I can tell you that already. There's a vegetal thing that I'm picking up on right up front, which I think is just the hop. I think it's just because it's so fresh. I'm getting a little bit of a green hop note. A little bit of tangerine. There's something a little funky in there. Maybe it's the tea. I'm going to pause just for a second so I can blow my nose. I've been dealing with this off and on stuffiness, and I want to make sure I'm getting all of the aromas. So, right back. Like it never happened. Here I am. Okay. All right. I'm glad I blew my nose there because I'm picking up a lot more tropical fruit, slight pineapple, the guava's there, which, if you've been watching my reviews of Treehouse beers, that's a common theme in Treehouse IPAs is guava. And it smells absolutely delightful. There is something there. I think it could be just that this was canned yesterday and the hops are presenting a little differently than they would if this was a week or two in and the hops had time to maybe settle. I don't know what the right word is, but kind of chill out a little bit. Just after reading the description, and it's probably just the power of suggestion, but a little bit of tea, maybe. I don't necessarily know, like chamomile tea versus other types of tea. It's almost like an herbal, more like a green tea. But it's very light. The primary aromas are the tangerine citrus, the guava notes. There's a breadiness that you're getting from the malt. It smells good. It doesn't smell as good as the I'm Dreaming of a Hazy Christmas that I just had, which, by the way, very similar can art for these two. Okay, so All I Want for Christmas is Juice. That's the one I'm drinking now, 8.1%. Nice aromas, little bit of a vegetal thing initially, which is kind of dissipated, but I was picking that up at first, which I think is just from the fresh hops. I wouldn't say there's anything necessarily off about the aroma. Maybe a slight tea note, but very light if it's there at all. Guava, tangerine, citrus. All right, enough talking. It smells like a winner nonetheless. Without further ado, let's get into this brew. Cheers. More notes of guava coming through. Transition from the palate, or the nose to the palate. Definite guava, tangerine, citrus. It's got almost a little bit of a marmalade type effect to it. Slight breadiness in the middle of the sip. Slightly sweet, but pretty well balanced because you get a little bit of an earthy hop kick that comes in on the back end. The tea notes that I was thinking I was picking up on the nose are coming through a little bit on the palate. There's almost a bitterness, like an unsweetened green tea or like a really earthy tea that's coming through, and it's got a bitterness to it that kind of you pick up on the roof of your mouth, and as you swallow it down, that you don't get initially, but it kind of comes through on the back end. Yeah, so almost a little bit, almost a moderate bitterness with this one on the finish, which, considering you get that sweet guava tangerine up front, that marmalade type effect that I was mentioning with the sweeter type, almost candied fruit notes up front, really nicely balanced with those earthy and bitter hop notes on the back end. It's a delightful beer. No alcohol's coming through. 8.1%. It doesn't drink like an 8.1%. I would say that the body is on the lower medium side. Carbonation with this is pretty light. It's juicy all the way through. It's got a nice almost creaminess to the mouthfeel. No burning or anything on the swallow down that would indicate that this is a higher alcohol beer. A really enjoyable, excellent beer from Treehouse. Not my favorite of the holiday IPAs that I've had from them so far, but it's up there in just being a generally awesome beer. I'm going to go with a 97 out of 100. It's not quite world class, but it's really damn close. It's nice and juicy. The tea kind of gives it a little bit more bitterness, I think. I'm detecting that on the finish. It's probably a combination of being canned a day ago, so the super fresh hops, that with the tea kind of creates an herbal bitter note that you don't get with a lot of the Treehouse IPAs, and it's not really bitter by any stretch of the imagination. If you've had, West Coast IPA where you get that piney, resinous, like really bitter finish, sometimes even medicinal, that's not the case with this beer at all. It's very sweet and malty and fruity, and then you get that bitterness kind of on the back end to round everything out, but it's not a overall bitter beer by any stretch of the imagination. So 97 out of 100 for the All I Want for Christmas is Juice from Treehouse Brewing Company out of Charlton, Massachusetts. I highly recommend it if you have Treehouse in your area and you can go to a brewery location or pick up cans, as I frequently do. I highly recommend you check this one out. If you like the New England juice bombs, the New England very fruit-forward IPAs, you're not going to be disappointed with this one. It is a winner. So go check it out. That'll do it for this beer review, folks. Hope you're all having a wonderful day. Until next time, everybody. Cheers.